So we're back on lock with these lions this morning after seeing them last night, and they have eaten a lot of that buffalo. These males are looking very full. Thankfully they all managed to fit around the carcass quite well last night. There was just one female that was being bullied ever so slightly, but I think they've all managed to get their full from this buffalo carcass. So you can see this buffalo has been pretty much cleaned up here. If you have a look around the face of the skull, you can see most of the meat has been eaten off of that already, and then there's just a bit of rib cage off of the back, which is kind of what we expected because of the size of these lions and the quantity of them, being 9 of them here together. They'll make short work of a buffalo, although they were looking quite full before they actually started eating this. Gave me a bit of a fright there. So I don't know if you remember us talking about how much lions can eat, and I was saying that they gorge themselves. They try and eat as much as they can when they can. So a big male like this, it's not impossible for them to be able to put away 40 kilograms of meat in a sitting, which is an enormous amount. But typically, they kind of range between needing about 5 and 7 kilograms of meat a day, but they don't eat every day. So that's kind of the average being spread out over a week. Usually they'll try and feed every 2 to 3 days. So when they do eat, they'll try and eat as much as they can. It's amazing. Have you ever tried to eat a 1 kg steak before? It's a lot of meat to try and eat, and it's very uncomfortable afterwards. I definitely can't eat a whole kg of steak. But this pride is looking very strong and powerful at the moment. All very healthy and have been very successful in bringing down prey in the area. So they're setting themselves up very nicely. So we're back this afternoon, checking on what's happened with the lion kill, and it looks like the lions are full enough that they've let the hyena make their way down and come and steal what's remaining, or at least come and grab it. These two are just finishing off what's left on the spinal cord and cleaning up the head around the skull. I'm sure the lions are not lying away too far from here because they were extremely full. But there were lots and lots of hyena around. And the cleanup team at work, eh? So Vussi's just managed to locate these lions. They've just moved about 100 meters away from the carcass, into a bit of a guarri thicket, as well as a little Mopani belt. I might have just done that because I felt a bit exposed in that open area, and also having all of those hyena around just would pester them. Also have a bit more shade. Although it hasn't been a very hot day today, it's been nice and cool. Just provides them with a bit more cover, I think. With a little bit of maneuvering, we've actually managed to find a nice gap where these lions have moved to, and we have all 9 of the river pride from last night and this morning that fed on the buffalo in this area that are nice and static for the moment. The rest of the pride is actually across on Shinatseni. They seem to have taken down something themselves. We're not too sure what, but we're going to try and investigate a bit later. But just have a look at those tummies. Massive. You can see how they're panting very heavily here, as if they're out of breath from doing something. But it's not from them doing anything, it's because of how much they've eaten. You know how it feels when you've eaten too much? And it feels like you have a shortness of breath. It's because there's pressure on your diaphragm, so you're not able to take very deep breaths like you usually would. One of the younger males over here in frame. So this lion, male lion that we have in the frame of the camera currently, he's the one that we refer to as the Nchila male, because he's missing the black tuft at the end of his tail, or it's very minimal. So he's quite easy to identify. He's also got a lot of scarring around the face, and he seems to be one of the larger males out of the 5 brothers. Other 2 brothers just lying off to the left, and then the 5th brother just lying in the Mopanis.